All right, so when you watch the videos online, all the young guys seem to have a lot of bravado and make some pretty bold claims about the lifestyles. Not talking about you guys, just in general. How often is it total bullshit and they are actually working behind the checkout in Asda?
I feel like drill with drill music, um, the listeners are very, very diligent. So they do their background research, everything. Like you wouldn't get away with it if you was just like if it was a different thing and you was talking about, yeah, I roll with these guys and you don't, or they like they'll draw it out very easily. And it happens, isn't it? You see certain
What?
pages put up
There's
different
some
things and
fans and that. It's not even trolls. Let's not even call them fans. Let's call them trolls. There's some trolls that they actually get internet famous off of cussing you.
Yeah.
like,
I've had it.
There'll be.
And I was
There'll
stupid
be
enough to
that guy with
respond
like
to some
5
of them.
followers, but he will say something so funny on Twitter that everyone retweets it. And now this guy's got all 10k.
Yeah.
He will change his name. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and everyone rates him now. Everyone rates him. He has a say in what happens in the drill scene. And then you got blog pages as well, like the UK Drill Newses, the Lambeth Drill Newses, North Gang Wars, things like that, that they also have a say. Like, nobody knows who these guys are, but if they say my man is wet and he's not on shit, that's the final say. Like, everyone now is going to be questioning it. Like, right, my man's Lambeth Drill News said he's wet. He must be wet. UK Drill News said he's not on shit. He must not be on shit. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's definitely influence from these blog pages and stuff.
Are you getting mobbed more by male fans or female fans?
Male, man, they're weird. Sorry.
I ain't getting marred by no males, man.
bro.
I got female. I'm joking, but fuck
males. Males
No, initially, I don't know. Remember when we was in like Wolves and man's getting all RKO'd by the females and shit over the barriers and that, like bras get thrown on stage.
Girls
and
have
that,
their
you know what I
moments,
mean?
but it's
the
drill,
males
innit?
act more excited.
Do you know what
I
I'm
guess,
saying?
innit?
It's drill music, so obviously the man them's feeling it just that little bit more. Do you know what I mean? So they move like, like, bro, I'm feeling your thing, like, like, they're proper excited, like, but it's cool though. Do you know what I mean? As long as everyone keeps their respect and that, I don't have no problem with that. Do you know what I mean? It comes with what we're doing.
Yeah, I was in the gym with Charlie the other night, and every now and then someone comes up and says, yeah, you know, watch your YouTube. And it's nice. And then Charlie's like, why can't this be women? It's all men.
It's crazy.
You got any questions for these guys, Charlie? You want to say anything? No?
Go on, Charlie.
Go on, Charlie.
Come on, I know you got something on your mind. I know Joe and James do.
Right, so I do have one question.
Yeah.
Go on, Charlie.
So this does get referenced in quite a lot of music about the police bringing in guns. A lot of corruption within the police. Apparently the police supposedly bringing a lot of the guns into the country, being involved in a lot of, nefarious activities. Is there any truth in that?
100%.
What you guys have heard from what you guys have been about?
100%.
Just like it's
slimy.
A B C, man. Like we don't grow cocaine in this country. Like,
So how does it get here?
Bolivia.
You know what I mean? Like, so what? We're getting on the planes with coke. Like, come on, we can't do that. So it's just, and it's been known, man, from The Wire and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this shit ain't. But
it's not new. It's not new.
Who am I to draw it out? I can't go out and do a whole big song and then it stops. You need to fuck up everyone's thing anyway. So it's just, it is what it is. That's the way it goes. But to get grabbed for it and to get bagged for it, that's where you're taking the L's. Cause what these guys are doing it. Why am I the one that has to pay the price? You know what I mean? So just whatever you do, just try to avoid that. But I feel like a lot of people even lose sight as to why they're in this, or why they was in the gang life, or why they were selling drugs. The whole aim really is just to get out and do better. But a lot of people get caught up in the life and forget to do better. They just get out and do more, and then eventually that run ends. So yeah, don't lose sight of why you're in this.
What's your message for young people who've got gangsteritis and they watch movies like Scarface and they think I want some of that?
They're gonna learn one way or another, and usually it's the hard way. When they lose friends and things like that, God forbid they lose their life, that's the worst lessons to learn. But I feel like a lot of the times when you're younger, you're easily impressionable, but then at a certain point, it gets hold on. Like yesterday, I met a 17-year-old that said, "Raw, when one of his close brethren died, he realized, hold on, what am I doing now? It's because it's real. It's real, and where it might look like a movie, it happens. And when it happens to someone closer to you, that's when you choose. And obviously, at the age of you making your choice, you're old enough because you've made a choice. It's either this or that, and you decided that, yeah, I'm just gonna try to fly through it, and nothing's gonna happen. Or you're gonna have to take the L's as much as the winnings, and I don't think the winnings is that appealing. Like if I had a choice when I was younger, we didn't really have a choice. Like we come up, and the group we are is the group we've always had. That's not a choice. That's just us. But if I had the choice to be like, I can be with these lot, or I can do this, I would have chose the other route. I would have chosen another route.
I think that is a really important message, AM, because sometimes people say you have a lot of ex-cons on and you're glamorizing crime. But we're telling the kids, you know, if you get in the drugs game in this day and age, you're going up against like the Albanian mafia. We had someone, they told us a story up in the north. This kid had just got into the game and Albanian mafia shop at his house, take his fucking eyeballs out. You can't compete against that, you know, and they see it's like glamorized from the movies and things like that. And I understand if they've not got much money, they want some of that. I was the same, but it does end in the prison, police, death. My mum had a nervous breakdown. My sister had to have counselling, and it's not worth the price in the long run. The police will take everything you earned. Fucking take your house,
not
everything.
one Joe person has ever said in a song, Joe was great. All my guys sent me money. It was like I cool. They might say I mashed up this guy, but they're not saying, yeah, everyone looked out for me. My guy's doing 20. Everyone got him. No one says that. Everyone knows all the jail stories is shit. They're saying no one looked out for me. No one done this. No one done that. So I don't understand how police and everyone else says, yeah, you lot are glamorizing this life, because now we're saying the realness.
Yeah,
Telling
realness.
you that, yo, this is peak. Like it might sound like this, like you could, like the amount of people that even make it out from selling drugs is very minimal. Like I don't even know the percentage, but it might be like 0.7% people that actually make it out and make it legit and change their life around from selling drugs without going to jail, without getting killed, without getting injured. You know what I mean? So realistically, it's cap when they say, yeah, they glamorize this, that, because no one's a fool. Like nobody watches Scarface and goes out and says, I need to buy guns now and do it how he done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched Snowfall, I got excited for a night, and then the next day I woke up and it was reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, in jail there's a whole lot of drilling going on and a whole lot of dropping the soap going on, and rape is now so common. You have to go to a rape class in prison to get taught how not to get raped.
Wow.
It's a waste of time. They just show you a video of some predators in the day room. Young people coming in, they're hungry. If they take food off the predators, they got them in debt, and they say next day they say, right, you got to pay for that. Got no money. Well, you're gonna get fucking stabbed unless you pay for it. What am I gonna do?
gonna have to kill
Go in
me.
that room over there and do whatever that fella says, or else we're gonna fucking kill you. And if they do it, they just get rented out as prison prostitutes. Then that's called becoming a punk or getting turned out. There's no coming back from that.
Well, they got to hold the man's pocket, like in prison break.
Teabagging it.
They got-
Oh, land. That's why I don't want to put myself in that scenario, because that's my certain death now. Now I'm just dead.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Like, why was I even in that scenario in the first place?
Yeah.
I'd rather stay out of it, because I know myself. That's literally, you're killing me, and it's my story. That's where it ends.
Literally.
So what do you say, Skengdo, to young people who've got gangsteritis?
Listen, y'all need to chill out.
Chill out, man.
Chill out, man. Go school and that. Get me?
I didn't even know that was a thing. Gangsteritis and all
No
that.
word. But yeah, fam, just go school, get education and that. Obviously, I'm not gonna be the guy to sit there and be like, yeah, school's gonna shape your whole life. Like, yeah, you could trust me, cause that's all a setup in itself. You get it, but you definitely gotta go and do it. So just go do that. Do something positive, fam. That's the only thing man can push positivity. Cause a lot of the time, the media puts me in AM in a negative light. Do you know what I mean? But this is just one of those moments. Like man's gonna say, yeah, you don't be positive, do the positive thing, stay out of trouble and that. Like, you get me? See, in the long run, it's not worth it. And none of your brethren are gonna have you. You're gonna be done out here like one bum. You get it? Trust me.
So I guess.
The police are waiting for you to fuck up. The private prisons are looking at you as suckers that they can just warehouse and make 60 grand a year off and hardly feed you or give you fuck all, you're going to be in a fucking cell with a couple of dudes who are shitting, farting, wanking. You can't even get out of that fucker because you're locked down most of the time. It's not.
A lot of the times, the man fuck is a lot of guys that have problem with listening to authority and police, teachers, and stuff like that. You end up in jail, and where you on the road, you had the right to say no and cut. Nah, bro, you're getting locked in that. Then you know what I mean? Like, it's hard now, and that fucks with a man's brain. If you've gone your whole life thinking, yeah, fuck authority, I do what I want to do, and now you can't, you start moving mad. So yeah, don't do that to yourself.
Do you have a lawyer on standby in case the cops pull a fast one?
Yeah.
Speed out.
Anything happens right now.
But police, when they pull us, they have to move a bit. They move a bit wary now, especially when they find out, because it's like, yeah, we do know what's going on. My phone is out. As soon as a police officer pulls up to my car, phone like this.
Taping them.
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. So they snatch my phone, slap my phone out of my hand. I'm like, what you doing? If they notice that I ain't give you, guys, you don't have to give police your name in this country anyway.
What do you think about all this shit with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter?
I feel like, remember, I've always said I don't speak about politics because I'm not a politician. So any view I have is just my personal view. But I feel like it had to happen. Like, the response anyway. RIP to George Floyd and all the people that's died from that violence. But I feel like the response was necessary, and where everyone feels like peace is the way forward, it doesn't really bring results. So whereby people start reacting how they reacted, now it's a whole big issue. And I feel like that's the same with our music. It kind of resembles, because we can talk about there's issues in our community and this, but when we start putting it out there and just bringing the violence to light and letting people know this is what's going on, it shook the whole of London, and they say, whoa, we need to stop this. Can't let people know what's happening. I'm like, nah, because all of that peaceful trying to do a petition and send it to Lambeth and the government and make them, nah, that doesn't work. Let's go expose everything now and fight fire with fire. And now that's when things happen and results, and you know what I mean? So I feel like it was definitely necessary, and I feel like, yeah, I just feel like it's very sad though. It's sad to see, but the racism is far from gone. Far.
Yeah, it's off the scale in America. Under the Constitution, they abolished slavery except for people convicted of crimes.
Yeah.
So what they did was they just mass arrested people. So they got black guys now working on the exact same plantations they had them working at when they were slaves, but it's just now called convict labor. So the fucking people making the money off this just try to get around it, one way or the other. It's absolutely sickening. I saw a cop say, to make my arrest quotas, I just go to a black neighborhood. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
No way.
Yeah. There was a guy that I'm helping to this day. His name's T-Bone. Almost 6.5 foot black guy, former US Marine. He's still in prison right now. They were going to give him 200 years for a robbery he hadn't done. He's very religious. He prayed and he said, all right, I'm going to go to trial. To go to trial in Arizona is very risky. He went to trial and they said to the cop, he said he's done the robbery, yeah. Was there a camera where he did the robbery? Yeah. Show us the video of him doing the robbery. Cop said didn't have time to get the video. He beat the case and he was so happy he thought he was going to get out. And they slapped another charge on him. Oh. They said he took $20 off a countertop in a shop and found him guilty and gave him 13 years. Oh. And they had one witness to say that he did it. And she was in shit herself. And they let her off her shit to say he did that.
So wait, let me get this
straight. America's weird.
Wait, let me get this straight.
Proper mad.
My man basically is in the workhouse for 13 years for $20.
Yeah. Because they say he's got prior convictions.
Okay, what's that, the free strike?
Not free strikes, but just because he's got prior convictions. And this is a former US Marine who fucking had PTSD, came back. He didn't get any help from the government.
Man.
And he was actually the only person I ever saw who was stopping prison rape. And he wasn't just fucking getting, knocking these guys out. He was getting stabbed, hit in the head with river roxy socks. His entire body. The first time he ever came to my cell, I was just writing at my little stool, and the sun just completely blacked out. I turned around, he was just stood there in the doorway like out of a fucking Conan movie, with his trousers on, entire body covered in scars, not little scars, horseshoe-sized scars, yeah. So this guy's got such a big heart, and he's one of the bravest people I've ever met. And I'm helping him in prison now to this day. He writes to me and we put videos up. People have sent him money. We're trying to get him on appeal and trying to get him out earlier. But yeah, he's a really good guy. But you've got nothing coming if you're in the system, like you guys said earlier. Once you get in that system, when you get out in America, there's special forces, kind of cops, prison guards who monitor you, and they get bounties just to put you back in. It's just one big racket. Yeah. All right. So you mentioned then, you've detailed the discrimination you guys have had and getting pulled over and the harassment and all that. But a minute ago you said there are important social issues in your neighborhoods. What are those issues right now?
A lot of the times the funding's getting misallocated, so money's going to different people in the council or whatever, and they're just using it for whatever, but there's not enough for people to do, like locally. There's it's so weird, like there's like people say, yeah, that you can do this, you can do that. All of these things you don't walk out your door and know that you can do this. There's not a poster that says you can do this or that. There's not any community center around you is closed down. It's just there's a lot more that could be done to keep guys off. And like, what do we do? Like, the school's finished, you're out of summer holidays, you're all in the estate. What are you gonna do? You're gonna chill. You're gonna move to girls. You're gonna smoke a little bit. You know what I mean? And then you can't. It's mad hard for young people to get jobs, especially young black people. I've been there when I was like 14, 15, 16, trying to do. First initially was trying to get work experience. So in year 10, I think you have to do work experience. Like, I was applying all over the gaff. Then obviously, end of school, I was trying to apply, get a job. It's mad. Like, apply with like 14, 15 places. You're like, this is dead. I don't know how people get jobs, and you just do whatever you see on your doorstep. These guys get money. I want to be part of your operation, and we get money with you. So, just the funds need to be allocated correctly to the right people, to community leaders, and let them entrust them with the money and trust that they're going to know how to use it and help people and give more opportunities. Especially now you're seeing drill music and music being a big thing. There's a lot of producers that you could create, a lot of camera crew. There's lots of different roles you can play within the music that people can do, but they don't know. They're not exposed to that opportunity. So I feel like, yeah, those are just a few social issues that's going on locally. But
yeah, I think you touched on some big ones there. The government closed down the youth centres.
Mm-hmm.
And where is the money going? They just put it in their own pockets. They give the bodies the contracts and they don't do jack shit with it.
I can admit, like, cool, back in the day, community centres, they kept people off the streets. But nowadays, if there was a community centre, there's so much more you could do there. So it's more than just keeping you off the streets. It's giving you opportunities to get money for yourself. There's so much more that can happen. And we're not at the stage where we can fund it ourselves. So it's like we're stuffing the youngers in our cars, taking them to a studio and showing people this and showing them that. And that's the most we can actually do. But
have you got a name for that program so people can support what you're doing, or is it just something you're doing?
It's just us. We just local. We look out for the younger generation, because it's like, regardless, they're wrapped in what we was wrapped in. But it's like, now as olders, we're only 23, so you don't feel like we're older, but there's youngers younger than you. So it's like, we just try to help them. As much as you're wrapped in what we're wrapped in, we're still trying to show you there's still other ways we can all get out of this. We can get out of it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to facade you and be like, no, don't do this, because what, am I going to give you money? Am I going to put the money in your pocket and feed your family? No. So what can I tell you?
So it's almost like there's no alternative for them on purpose, and there's just this pipeline into the prison system.
Literally.
Yeah. I think in America they call it the school to prison pipeline, something like that. So they got to really look up to you guys then, the young people, and listen to you, because you've fucking been there, done it.
It is. You're going to have to it's more than just telling them though. You have to
You have
physically
to show them.
and bring
How do you
them.
get through to them then? Like the hardest cases?
They're with us though.
You
They're
gotta
in
show
the
them.
gutter with us together. So it's not like we're lying. It's not like here where we live in Beverly Hills and we're telling you, listen to us and give us a chance. No, you wake up tomorrow, you're gonna see us there with you
Yeah,
on the sky and
yeah.
off. So when we're saying, yo, you know what, roll, come do this, let's do that, then you're rolling, in it.
Does it get freakish for you? So many people recognizing you then?
Not anymore.
Nah,
I
it's
feel like
kinda-
we're past that
we
stage.
expect it now, but it's
Yeah.
when we get back to our area, south, it's lesser that it's like everyone knows it's us, so it's not like it's just we get to be ourselves when we're back in our area. But when we leave London, or even just different parts of London, then you get definitely
Man
like
goes
21 young.
Man go Birmingham, man, it's
you
just
can't go to a
like-
shopping centre. And
Skengdo, AM. Skengdo.
But that novelty's got to wear out, doesn't it?
you get, and we have flipping bad tendencies. So if people are looking at us or looking at us the wrong way, we think it's that thing, and then
Right.
end up saying, no, I just recognised you. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And my one's always a bit 50-50 because I got the mask and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think, do you know what I look like? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I heard you speak, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just